Just wanted to talk, that's all.
Oh, somebody kill me, please! I want to die!
How's it going, everybody? Oh, that was a stupid question. You guys are not doing well if you're watching this channel. But you guys are the hardest of hardcore fans to tune in after that nonsense. I have never turned off a playoff game in my life, and I can't do it now because I got the show. But if I could have, I probably would have turned this one off even before the Yankees had their late kind of semi-rally. But that was what Eminem would call a good old-fashioned passionate ass-whooping, and the Yankees got their shoes, coat, and their hat tooken. We've got millions of Yankees fans calling in, so I'm going to let you guys drive most of the show today, and we'll have a little bit of a joint pinstripe therapy session. But first, there's a few things I want to say. Max Fried was crap today. I mean, that's bottom line. Too many pitches over the plate. Everything the Jays swung at seemed to be a base hit. They just absolutely got to him. You needed him to step up today and pitch like he did against Boston, but he was awful. You know, he was supposed to be the starter. He's got the big contract. He's the ace. This is the game you have to pitch well. And, you know, he got out-pitched by Yusevich 100%, but Yusevich came out of the game, and then the Yankees scored 7 runs. So if Fried gives you 6 innings and 3 runs, the Yankees probably win this game, or at least have a much better shot at winning this game. First time in franchise history that the Yankees have given up 10 runs plus in back-to-back playoff games. Congratulations. And the Blue Jays just playing with a lot more energy, a lot more diverse hitting approach, a lot more power. You know, they're forcing the Yankees to throw pitches, to work. They're getting guys on base, and then they're getting them in. And Trey Yusevich, absolutely disgusting. Props to the kid. You know, he is going to be a stud if he stays healthy. His arm angle definitely reminds me of Jordan Montgomery, how Jordan Montgomery had that very, very high angle. And his go-to secondary pitch was an over-the-top curveball, and you would see guys chasing it in the dirt. That's the thing about, you know, pitching from that angle is it gives you a lot of north-south, and you'll get guys chasing in the dirt. And when you throw a splitter from that angle, it can be even more effective. So he's obviously very good, moved through the minor leagues very quickly. I thought we would get to him today, but he was just, I don't think he gave up a hit. He was dominating, 11 strikeouts. You know, I was reading a lot of comments on the message boards throughout the game and in the chat. Oh, how can the Yankees keep swinging and missing on this guy? How can they keep striking out? Look, this guy, his stuff today was as good as any pitcher in baseball. I'll admit, I didn't expect him to pitch at this level today. If you look at his second start in the major leagues against the Royals, he gave up 4 runs. He pitched a couple of really good games against the Rays. You know, he moved through the minor leagues quickly, but that doesn't always mean a lot. A lot of times you just need a healthy arm. Obviously, the Jays going with a bullpen game in this series tells you they needed an arm. And I expected that he would be okay, you know, but he was dominating. So tip of the cap. You just tip your cap. I mean, you just tip your cap. Yankees have come back down from down 2-0 twice in the division series in my lifetime. So while a lot of us probably feel, oh, it's over, you know, it's definitely not over. It's mostly over. The Yankees definitely have one foot in the grave, and the Jays are standing over us with a shovel. But twice in my lifetime, you know, I saw them come back against the A's, Barry Zito, Mark Mulder, and I think Corey Lytle started the other game. But, I mean, 2 really good starters. Yankees actually dropped the first 2 games of that series at home and came back to win. In Oakland, you know, they dropped 2, they had to fly across the country, and then they came back to win against, you know, a couple of really, really good pitchers in their prime. And then 2017 against the red-hot Cleveland Indians that won 22 games just a couple of weeks earlier. That team had Corey Kluber. You know, more specifically, Didi Gregorius owned Corey Kluber in that series, and the Yankees won a couple of games. And look, I mean, it can be done. Is it going to be easy? Absolutely not. If the Yankees get swept, it will be an embarrassment, and it, you know, would be another year in which an opponent celebrates in the Bronx. And I don't know if it will be the end of Aaron Boone because, you know, the Yankees did win a playoff round. They did win 94 games, but it should definitely be the end for a few other guys. The bullpen was crap. Will Warren was throwing absolute pus, just. But, yeah, I mean, look, guys, this is a fan channel, and a lot of you are in your feelings right now and upset. I get it. And I'm sure there's going to be Jays fans that are trolling us. I'm doing my best to mitigate that. But, they're excited. They're winning for the first time in the playoffs in almost a decade. 2016 was the last time. So, they're having fun. Let them enjoy it. But let's go ahead and just kind of talk over the key takeaways. There's not a lot of mystery in this one. Max Fried was awful today. No doubt about it. 8 hits and 7 runs in 3 innings. Just complete crap. Just a turd. Just awful. Just insanely bad for our ace. I mean, your ace of the staff has to at least, in a playoff game, give you 6 innings and 3 runs. You got to get a quality start pretty much every time, or it's an abysmal failure. And to get routed like this by the Jays is crap. Today was a day where you needed him to just step up and stop the bleeding, and he just spit the bit. But you also have to give Toronto credit, right? They were being pesky. They were taking the approach that we've said all year we wish the Yankees would still take. This is the kind of offense that the Yankees had in the 90s when they were winning all those championships. They were difficult to strike out. They would foul off a million pitches. They would capitalize on every base runner that you put on, right? And they were just so tough. And this is exactly how Toronto is playing, right? I mean, when Toronto went on their hot streak, this is how they were playing. Now, they had a little bit of a cold streak there in the second half. They came back. They won, I think, the final 4 games to hold off the Yankees and win the division. But they've maintained sort of that stick-to-itiveness as hitters, where they keep fouling off pitches and making these pitchers work. And their approach, it's quite frankly fun to watch as a baseball fan. As a Yankees fan, today was miserable. It was awful. Forget it. But as a baseball fan, you appreciate the effort. You appreciate, the kind of team that they have. And they don't even have Bo Bichette, who had a ton of hits this year. So, congratulations to them on 2 really good games in Toronto. And now the Yankees just got to come back and win 2 in New York and hope that you force a game 5 and that you play better in Toronto the next time. I mean, that's all you got to hope for. I mean, at this point, at least, some of the pressure's off the Yankees, right? Because, I mean, if you lose, it's over, right? You got to win. That's the only option. Just keep winning, right? That's what we said after you lost game 1 in the first round. You got to pull off another incredible comeback. And if you do that, well, then, hey, that is more momentum and more of a comeback kid mentality. But right now, I'm not counting on it because the Blue Jays have completely outclassed the Yankees in these 2 games. The splitter is a very, very effective pitch when thrown well. And Gossman was throwing a good one yesterday. Yasevich was throwing a great one today. And the Yankees just looked baffled. They were just swinging through it every single time. And, I mean, it's a tough pitch to hit, but my goodness. They don't have any clue how to hit a split finger fastball. They were trying to catch every splitter before it break and hit it in the air and try and hit home runs on it. If the Yankees were throwing this many splitters at the Blue Jays, what I think you would see is them fouling off pitches, letting those pitches go in the dirt like they did against like Fernando Cruz, and trying to be pesky about it. But hey, it is what it is. Vladdy Jr. putting on a clinic and honestly showing Aaron Judge what you're supposed to do with the bases loaded and how you're supposed to hit if you're a superstar in the playoffs. Now, Judge is hitting, I think they said he's hitting 460 or 450 in the playoffs. I don't have the numbers in front of me. Who cares? But it feels like a very soft, very hollow 450, right? Because when he's come up with, big situations, he hasn't done jack. He's hitting 444 with a 1.024 OPS. He was 2 for 3 today with 2 walks and 2 runs scored. But, yesterday you had the strikeout with the bases loaded, a terrible swing. Today didn't do much with guys on. He did have an RBI, but it just comes across as hollow, and he let a ball go through his legs in right field, turned a double into a triple. I mean, just an ugly day overall for the Yankees. Not a lot to be happy about. And they dropped this one foot in the grave. Pasha Noble says, I hope we're taking notes concerning the postseason and contact. 100% agree. It's so important. Raj says it is all hands on deck for Game 3. Yeah, I mean, just like it was for Game 2 with Rodon on the mound. I mean, Rodon gave us 6 innings and 3 runs, but, tomorrow I think you're telling him go balls to the walls as deep as you can go. If you got to throw 115 pitches, then that's what we got to do, right? That's what we got to do. So, ugly game for the Yankees. Let's go ahead and take a few voicemails.
It's just a reaction.
Let's call about the splitter.
So, hey, Derek, how many times are we going to swing at the splitter? That's what I want to know. And also, where's the fire on this team? Literally, one of their announcers called you out. Perfect bulletin board material to use it as inspiration, and you don't use it. You don't use it as motivation. You come out flat. You're swinging at everything. It's just sad. I really miss the days when this team would take something like that and use it as motivation. Keep up the good work, man. Love your show. Hopefully on Tuesday it's not your last show for the season, but we'll see.
Well, it won't be my last show for sure. It'll be my last. If the Yankees lose, it'll be the last post-game show, but we do shows all winter long. A lot of people don't realize this. I'm part of the Foul Territory Network, and I have to do 2 shows per week during the offseason. So we got a lot of comments last year, hey, season's over, forget it. People just didn't want to see it. You don't have to watch it, but I'm going to be doing shows all winter. We're going to talk about the blueprint for fixing the problems that are going wrong. We're going to talk about prospects. We're going to talk about some classic kind of evergreen stuff. Talk about some seasons like, next year's the 30-year anniversary of the 96 team and the beginning of that dynasty, and I'm going to do a whole series about that. So, I'm already working on it. We'll talk about which Yankees won't be back, all that good stuff. So let's take another call here. This is from Hartford.
Hey, Derek, it's John from Hartford again. Hope you're doing well. Just wanted to tell you I'm calling right after the Grand Slam by Vladimir. Here's my point. Big games, big players have to step up. And our players haven't been stepping up against better competition. And Pedro said a comment yesterday before the series started. The more I think about it, he's right. We beat babies at the Red Sox, a lot of young players, and they tested us. They brought us to the brink. Once we play a good team and we need to step up, we can see what we're made of. So, bottom line, we got to look at the whole team, the whole roster. Everyone needs to step up. And we got 2 games in New York to do that just to get back to Toronto.
Yeah, I agree. And you'd like to see a little bit more fire. We're seeing comments about that. I don't want to dig too much into the offseason and what we should do, but it's clear that this team needs another spark plug. It's clear to me that they need, a little bit of an edge, probably the right word. They need a Josh Donaldson who doesn't suck, right? That's what they need. Here's Brian.
Man, Derek, I'm not going to cuss, I'll tell you that, but dude, I want to. This is brutal. It's pathetic. They know how to suck all the fun out of a playoff game, and I mean the Yankees. You got to give all the credit in the world to the Blue Jays, a team with half the name power that the Yankees had, and somehow are producing more than double the amount of our star-studded lineup that chokes anytime they go out anywhere. This deep, it's pathetic, man. Absolutely pathetic. The MLB has to be ashamed that these games are ending this way. Good for the...
Yeah, I mean, look, good for the Blue Jays, but I don't think MLB cares. I'm sure they'd love to see Yankees, Dodgers again, but I think a lot of fans outside of, New York and LA would like to see somebody else. But bottom line, the Yankees have embarrassed themselves. They've embarrassed themselves. And, the late offense, the 7 runs that they got in the 6th and 7th, does not erase the memory of how bad they were in the first 3 innings. I mean, Smoltz was talking about, it's going to build some momentum. That's great. They had a great... Shut up. They got clowned. They were hitting bums. Come on. They were a piñata today.
This is Raekwon calling. I'm sitting here watching the game, bottom of the 4th, as Vladdy just hit the grand slam. Honestly, Derek, I just don't see us winning this series.
That's a very strong and bold prediction, Raekwon. Here's MB.
It's Mary Beth. I love your show, Derek. I love your show. I am a Yankee fan. I love my Yankees, but I'm now going to turn this off because it just hurts too much to watch what's going on. We completely underestimated the team. So we go back to New York, and we now have to win 3 in a row. But it ain't going to change today. You have a fabulous day, doll. Bye.
Okay, so here's 2 things that give me just the smallest modicum of hope, okay? The 2 pitchers on this staff that have the best, like, attitude of, like, I'm going to go out there and put this team on my back and shove. Carlos Rodon and Cam Schlittler, no question. Without Garrett Cole, those are the 2 guys that have the most confidence, no doubt. Now, Rodon hasn't always been that way, right? It's a recent thing, and he's gotten better and better and better. I think that if he wins tomorrow, you throw Cam Schlittler in Game 4, I think you can go back to Toronto, and then it's anybody's game. But the way the Yankees play in Toronto, and the way Toronto plays in Toronto, it'll be tough either way.
Yeah, this is Eli from Fresno, California. We're getting our I can't say that. I can't say it. You know what I want to say. I'm going to New York. I go to New York every year from California, and my entire trip was based around seeing the Yankees play October playoff baseball. And now I'm praying that they get swept so I can get my freaking money back. Like, this basically ruined my entire trip. So thank you to the Yankees and their non-existent offense. Thank you for Max Fried for stealing $200 million from us. You can't get paid $200 million to shit the bed like that, bro. It's just unacceptable.
Well, look, bad starts happen. You know, we wouldn't be in the playoffs if he didn't hand an amazing season. Right, but in a game like this, I agree. He's got to be better. And I put this one flat on Max Fried. I just put this one all the way on Max Fried. And you hope that if there is a Game 5, he comes back and he pitches better. Got a call here about Boone.
Hey, Derek, this is Caden. You know, this game just simplifies Aaron Boone's career as a manager of the Yankees. So he settles for mediocrity. I mean, that's all he does. He settles for mediocrity. And that's what the Yankees are, a mediocre baseball team. We probably all knew that they were going to get beat by Toronto. And let's face it, they've been getting beat all year by Toronto. So that's nothing new.
Yeah. I'm not going to put this one on. This one's on the pitching. Boone's not pitching out there, you know. Is Boone my favorite manager? No. Would I prefer someone else? Yes. But, hey, thanks for the call. Here's Mike.
Hey, Derek, Mike from the Bay here. So, yeah, we're down 12-zip in the 6th. It's not looking too good. I thought after Game 1 that, you know, we got that out of the way. We got a blowout out of the way, and it's actually worse. With our
two bad ones in a row. I was not expecting a worse performance. J Moss says this Jays offense is Donnie Baseball's masterpiece. Who have we been saying should be the Yankees hitting coach or the Yankees manager for the last couple of years? Remind me, who is that? Who have we been saying on this channel should be back involved with the organization? I can't remember. Oh yeah, Don Mattingly. There you go. Quick word from DraftKings and back to wrap it up. Pressure is on, the lights are brighter, and with DraftKings Sportsbook, you're right there in the middle of every moonshot moment. DraftKings Sportsbook delivers the intensity of October with player props, live in-game betting, and odds that can change as fast as a ball flying over the fence. New customers bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get paid out $200 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use the code FOUL. That's code FOUL to turn $5 into $200 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, fees may apply in Illinois. 21 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bet must win to receive reward. Minimum minus 500 odds required. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio.
You watch the game? I mean, didn't it suck? It sucked.
All right, let's go ahead and wrap it up. J Moss says most of the runs didn't count because it was soft contact. Analytically, we won. I think that's a great comment. Because you know that there's somebody in the Yankees front office who views it that way. But anyway, Blockhead Audio says Jays just outgunned us, and he also dropped a super chat that says, I was at the game. Jays placed their bats better. Yeah, I mean, they made contact. They weren't trying to hit everything out of the ballpark. They created situations where the Yankees were dealing with runners on base, and they play very well in that ballpark. And unfortunately, the Yankees just completely crapped the bed. All right, so day off tomorrow, and then back on Tuesday. We'll do pregame and postgame. Go ahead and call in. Maybe we'll do a voicemail show tomorrow if you guys have some takes. I'll listen in. But tough day for the Yanks. I'll see you next time.
If you enjoyed this content, please hit that like button and subscribe. Check out NYYDesigns.shop for some great merch. Support our sponsors. It helps keep the show going. And you can find us on all major audio platforms, so be sure to subscribe there too. But most importantly, come back again soon. We'll see you next time.